When I started at Reigstad in 1979, we were small. We had 3 people, engineer, a CAD drafter, and me. So we all each had our job, and I had the overview.
Some of my favorite memories from the early years was the issue of going from the board, working all on the board, to working in the computers and in the 3D software.
I think I worked, kind of night and day, because I had to do everything. I remember even both Mike and Eunice were here, and we did a lot of work with Ankeny Kell and restoration work. We did international court with them. That was a big one. And I think with those, what should I say, experience, we were able to take on this building. And I think Eunice and Mike were quick studies on what I was trying to do. I think Tom Hoskins would say he was pretty impressed when even Eunice could give him answers to structural questions. And so everybody was just into what we were doing. And it was fun, but it was challenging because it was, bootstrapping ourselves up with just one job at a time. How did we get started in gaming? Basically, the first job was the Mille Lacs with the Ojibwe, Grand Casinos.
The Hinckley projects, the Mille Lacs projects, the Grand projects, and then that just boomed into emerging markets in all throughout the Mississippi Gulf Coast. And then the Gulfport in Biloxi, which led to our having an office down there and very close friends and close ties to the community.
I did the Stratosphere project. We need to redesign the whole thing based on the new code. That was a really challenging project, the first challenging project that I did here.
Back then we didn't have all the email stuff and PDFs either, Get something off the drawing board, 2 weeks later you're sending something out, up through the FedEx. It's a whole different world back then.
The higher profile jobs, of course, were the casinos in Minnesota, the casinos in Mississippi. We did casinos in Michigan, and then we added the larger jobs for the city of St. Paul, designing parking garages and totally renovating the River Center parking garage.
And I think if you believe in yourself, believe in your clients, believe in you're intended to be here, it'll work out.
Our company actually is growing. We have a precast department, we have connections, we have parking.
But yeah, we have a unique company and unique group where we are able to do a lot of different types of design. Steel, concrete, post-tension concrete, precast concrete. And we've had some very significant precast projects like Shreveport. There was a stadium down there that we did.
One of my first unique precast projects was the Ole Miss baseball stadium down in Oxford, Mississippi. It presented some challenges because it was precast stadia and risers and wall panels that tied into existing steel frame structure and new steel structure.
Probably the biggest project that I was involved with was Harris Cherokee, and it was multiple parking garages, casino, hotel.
It could be steel one day and concrete the next, post-tension concrete or precast concrete. Deep foundation systems, shallow foundations. We do stuff in seismic areas. We do stuff in high wind areas. We do stuff along the Gulf Coast where there's a lot of water issues and wind. And I think it keeps everybody on their toes, and I think it keeps things interesting. Yeah, it's just a great place to come to work every day.
We're trying to reinvent ourselves continuously, especially with these guys stepping in now, with Jason and his brother Jared. It's sort of like we'll follow our clients as much as anything and then look for new opportunities.
There's this legacy with this company. My dad's built this company. Jason and I are second generation, and my grandfather was involved. We grew up in this company, and I think there's a lot of pride and passion.
So I just hope that we keep growing as a company, grow together with the whole group to make it better.
Our good friends at Roy Anderson, who are now a Perini company, were having a big challenge on the Hard Rock, the second hotel at the Hard Rock. And they were trying to figure out how could we get rid of that pour strip at the roof particularly. They had lost, it was like a record rain without a hurricane. So we got to thinking about it and came up with a way to get the pour strip down to about a foot. They were good with that because they could seal off a foot pretty easy.
We really just try to act together as a collective group, you know, and it's worked well for 40 years, and I am, you know, hoping that it works well for another 40.
Which I say, as long as you don't quit, there's always an answer.
That's right.